Hey everyone, Sean here, and today in this video, I wanted to actually dedicate this particular topic, which is the Voice of the Galaxy Developer Radio Volume 2, which is essentially is like so it's kind of like a Q&A session with a Star Rail, and the devs, I guess, would like, answer questions from players or quote unquote players. But it seems like, there are some really good answers given out for important questions or requests. So let's just go through it and really wanted to check it out because there are some key things I saw that were pretty important and essentially is like big changes coming for Star Rail. So anyways, let's just go down to let's see. So, oh wow. So right away. Oh wow. This is I didn't expect it to be this soon, to be honest here. Okay, so it's probably not the way to look at it. So let's just go ahead and zoom in and go through this question. My Trailblaze power maxed out after sleeping in on weekends. Can the mechanism be improved? In version 1.3, the crew will increase the upper limit of Trailblaze power to 40. Furthermore, reserved Trailblaze power will be added. Once Trailblaze power maxes out, a percentage of the surplus is converted into reserved Trailblaze power. That's so huge for a game like this. With these games that have like stamina and stuff like that, you definitely want to like maximize like your use with stamina. Especially if for a game like Genshin Impact, for example, where it'll eventually like recharge and it'll just stay at whatever the max is, which is 160. So in between, if you're optimal, yes, ideally you want to burn at least some of the stamina to like maximize like your use out of it. So you can use it for like domains to grind that extra material or money or experience, so on and so forth. That's just kind of how these gacha games work. They kind of like make you manage your time, and sometimes it does feel like a chore. But games like this, it's kind of like an uncommon thing where they actually kind of accommodate for those who don't quite have that chance to do so. Now, granted, yes, Genshin does allow to do something like that to an extent with the condensed resin, which is a resin equals stamina. So condensed resin basically allows you to pretty much like take that resin, condense it, and then you can use that to for like domains, artifact domains, and so on and so forth. That way, you don't have to like do something with it, but you still have some reserves. But you have those reserves for later use, right? But you have to do that manually. So it again, that of itself is also kind of a chore. You want to like make sure you don't forget and stuff like that. Here, you also were able to do so, but you can only condense it, quote unquote, to currency where you can use it for simulated universe, and that will allow you to farm the space relics, essentially. You have the planet, and then you have the link, which allows for another four-piece set or two-piece set effect to take place along with your four-piece set. Basically, more artifacts slash relics. I think they're called planet relics, but yeah. No, that was the closest thing, but now with this coming to 3.1, where I believe we are in 1.2. So next big update, which is like about 2 weeks from now ish, we're gonna have something really really nice because this now look, they're upping the limit to 240. It was already a little higher than with Genshin with 160, but they haven't done anything since. And yet here in Star Rail, it's been getting all that much more love that Genshin kind of deserves, really, And but I just, man, I don't know what to say beyond like, wow, they're upping the limit to 240, right? So that's 60 more. That's quite big. And then not only that, even if you do like, and not only that, even if you do hit the recharge at the maximum, it'll like go into the reserve for you. You don't have to like to some extent. Now we don't know the amount, of course, but it essentially automatically does the condensed resin for you. So that's really cool that they're going out the way to do so for these games like this. And it's so funny because Star Rail has been continuing, like I've been saying, to get that love, right? Like it's been getting all the updates that Genshin players have been asking. It's so strange. And this is from the same company. So I don't understand what their overall philosophy is with Genshin besides making it very casual. And yet with Star Rail, it's a turn-based RPG. It's more of a mobile game. It's more casual, in my opinion, in that regard, with the accessibility, the controls, and those mechanics and everything, right? It's turn-based, right? But the difficulty, you could call, it could be, that's a toss-up. I don't know. I can't really say which one is harder, especially with Star Rail being, still young in comparison to Genshin almost being 3 years. Star Rail is about more or less 3 months. So, and yet it's already getting all these updates that are really nice and that should happen with Genshin, but Genshin just gets these like other updates that are okay, but we're asking for other stuff. So that's like essentially the thing that's been going on with between these two games at least. And then Honkai Impact Third has also been getting a lot of love as well. And that's like the oldest sibling of these three at least. So that's all the more damning of like what's going on with Genshin. It's just kind of like being treated like the middle sibling. Like it's kind of just forgotten almost. Like, oh yeah, you can kind of get this stuff and some hand-me-downs or something like that, or it's and meanwhile, Star Rail is kind of like that the youngest but spoiled child, and then the oldest is kind of like also getting that love because they're the first, right? And then of course the middle sibling, right? Man, they're upping the limit and they're helping you manage your stamina or your power, like that. So to me, that's really big in comparison, especially with the context of what's been going on with Genshin. So you would think that Genshin would kind of get this first because this is supposed to be a casual game. Shouldn't players be allowed to play more, right? Don't they want more stuff to do? Are casual players that like passive? I don't know. I'm not really too sure what really goes on with that kind of stuff with Genshin. I love the game still, but man, these updates will be really nice for Genshin. Some of them have carried over, like how the quests work and stuff like that. But man, this kind of update is already getting it first before Genshin. And Genshin has made a lot of money. It's got a lot of players, so on and so forth. And, it's getting a lot of stuff coming too, including the anime and such like that. It's just crazy. It's so crazy of how big it is and yet how neglected it is. And Star Rail is kind of the opposite, except it's pretty big and yet it's getting all these like much needed updates first. But yeah, anyways, let's try to go through like everything else too. I don't want to take up too much time for one thing, but that's really important, I think, because that's literally how you can play most of the content. When going through the story dialogues, if I accidentally tapped somewhere on the screen, I couldn't see the previous dialogue again. Help me. No problem. We are working on a new function already. In future updates, Trailblazers will be able to use a review button during the story dialogues to replay the previous story dialogues. Oh yeah, that's actually really nice too. There are times where, yeah, I'd skip the dialogue by accident. Oh shit, or they say something that could be important for lore reasons, and there's nothing for me to review it on, or there's no way to like look back on it. Kind of like what you can do in Grand Blue and such games like that. The update radio for Voice of the Galaxy will provide more details to Trailblazers when this function is ready to be released. So that's really nice. I do like that as well. Definitely more of a bonus, but it definitely is nice. I want to send stickers when chatting with friends. Chat stickers will be released in 1.3. The crew will add more stickers for Trailblazers to use in future updates. Okay, so it's kind of like what Genshin has, so that's pretty nice as well. Can the black bar at the bottom of the PC client be hidden? Oh yeah, that's pretty annoying too. It shows you like the controls and everything, but it's like we can't turn that off through the options. Come on. The optimization will be made in 1.3. After the update, the Trailblazers can choose whether to display the navigation bar at the bottom. So that's pretty nice too. Pom Pom, I forgot to log in on my birthday, so I missed my birthday mail. After 1.3 update, Trailblazers will be able to receive birthday emails by logging in even after their birthday, and birthday mails will also be sent to any Trailblazers who have missed them earlier. Oh, wow, that's actually nice. Also like a bonus, but really nice. There are many types of consumables, but they are inconvenient to use. Can you improve the experience using them? PomPom has received a lot of feedback about consumables. The crew will improve the system of consumables in the future versions to make them more convenient to use. The improvement plan is in the making. Update radio for Voice of Galaxy will provide more details, blah, 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 when it's ready. I actually never really use consumables, so I don't really see the issues that, other players are seeing. So, but hey, I mean, at least it's being answered and being looked at, so that's really good as well. That's pretty nice. Will there be new items at Herta store? I'm struggling to decide whether I should get the current light cones or not. PomPom has heard that after 1.3 update, new items will be listed at Herta store. Apparently, there will be a new light cone nihility. Wow, they actually are finally adding nihility to the store. Wow. So that's pretty big because I think there's only like 3 of them so far with preservation, destruction, and hunt. So the only things missing, of course, are abundance and I believe erudition as well, if I'm not mistaken. But point being, there's only 3 of them in the store. They're missing quite a bit, but nihility is coming at least, so it's coming along. It's coming along at least, so that's nice. Plan ahead with your Herta bonds if you're interested. Next question. While in auto battle, I always feel that some characters' abilities are not used in most effective ways. Can this be improved? Yes, the crew has received a lot of feedback about the logic behind some characters automatically use their abilities, and we are sorry for the inconvenience caused. In future updates, the crew will continue to improve the auto battle experiences and optimize the logic behind when to use abilities. So that's essentially like, for example, when you have Natasha on your team and you use auto battle, she tends to edge a lot of characters a lot of times. So which means she doesn't really heal them like consistently with her skill. What she likes to do in auto battle is to just use the ult to heal the entire party, and for some reason never heals when one of the characters is like close to dying or whatever, or at least getting there. So doesn't use the skill quite often. So examples like that are really helpful. So I'm glad to see that this is being looked at still. We've had fixes where some characters, like I believe Bronya is one of them, and also Tin Young was one of them as well for the auto battle fixes. So glad to hear that there's more coming I hope they specifically at least address Natasha, because that is a kind of a annoying issue that I've seen, that been through myself, and I've seen with a couple of my friends that play. It's just like it's like why, So it is annoying, and I'm glad that they're answering them. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Okay, so that's pretty cool. Um, yeah, that's awesome that, a lot of these are really nice, but I think definitely the most prominent of them all is the very first one, which is very funny. The whole thing with maxed out blaze power, reserving them automatically. That's really cool. Now, yes, the question is, how much is it going to be reserved? How much can you actually have maximum? We'll have to wait and see of how well it works with those situations, but I think for the most part, it's a good change. It definitely is a good one. It's just so funny that it's getting that kind of update before, you know, Genshin, which something has been highly requested from I'm sure a number of people, but it just seems like Hoyoverse only listens to like a certain demographic, which is like, come on, you know what I mean? We also deserve some, you know, um, like they should listen to us too. You know what I mean? Not just a certain demographic. While yes, they are the majority, like, but come on, like, um, I'm sure those changes will benefit them too, and that will only uplift your game that much more, right? It would be really nice. But it is to say though, it's nice to see Star Rail getting it because I do like Star Rail a lot. There are times where I like playing Star Rail more than Genshin. Genshin's kind of like been on the back more than anything. With the exception of this upcoming update for Genshin, because it is the Fontaine update, new region, of course, more stuff to do. So that is something for me to look forward to, especially. But, if things like this continue like that, like, it's just, I don't know. Like, I don't know how I feel then, but right now it's kind of just like hilarious, but it's also kind of sad. So it's like, what? That's crazy. So that's essentially all I got. I don't want to make this video too long. So I wanted to just say thank you very much for tuning in for this video. If you guys liked it, hit the thumbs up. If you have any comments about Star Rail's changes that are coming, especially from here, I think it's great. I think a lot of these are pretty reasonable, right? It's besides the seminar stuff, and I really appreciate it, guys. So this has been the Hawke Talks on this Voice of the Galaxy Volume 2 for the Developer Radio. Thank you, Hoyoverse, or this dev team, for keeping up with Star Rail. It's been really fun so far. I've been having fun with Kafka. I have built her decently for right now. I'm building up all the other dot units to make her shine. So we'll definitely see how Kafka fares in this like later half of 1.2, but I'm sure she'll be fine. But yeah, anyways, thank you very much, and hope to see you all in the next video. Sean out.